Hey, are you going through a divorce in Marin County and need to sell a property? Um, when you're involved in a divorce, it's not just a transaction. There's so many issues. There's emotional, financial, legal issues that you don't deal with in a regular transaction. And a misstep could cost you thousands of dollars. So hopefully this video will help give you some ease of mind. There, I have 5 steps that I'd like to go over with you. The first step, the most important, of course, is to know your home's value. Please don't rely on Zillow. I mean, they lost millions of dollars doing flips, relying on their estimates, and they were off. So it shows you shouldn't rely on it either. It's an AI platform. It doesn't know if you've made updates. It doesn't know if you have a view. There's just so many factors involved. And there's other things, like I wasn't involved in this situation, but I knew the lady, and she was getting divorced, and they decided on a value kind of based on Zillow and a couple of other things. And she just quit claimed her interest, and he gave her a check. Well, there had been a zoning change, they found out later, and it, added a lot more value to the land. If she had gotten an appraisal, the appraiser would have let her know about this. And an appraiser is not that expensive, and it's worth the money to get a third-party unbiased decision. If I was your real estate agent, I would give you a comparative market analysis. I'm also a licensed appraiser, so I would go over it with you in detail, but I always recommend you get another opinion. Get that professional appraisal. It's not that expensive, and it's really worth the money. And then the second major step is you need to decide if you're going to sell or buy out your partner. When I got divorced, I decided to buy out my husband, and because I wanted to give my children some stability, I thought it would be the best. Looking back, I'm not sure it was. It might have been better to sell it and buy something else and start new memories, because there were a lot of really happy memories, but also some towards the end some unhappy memories. So it's something you really need to go over. I recommend you speak to a CPA, financial advisor. They can really help you make a decision on what would work best. There are a lot of issues, like tax issues. When you own the home together, for capital gains, you get a $500,000 exemption, but if you're single, you only get the $250,000 exemption. Now, that $500,000 exemption lasts for a little while, so you really need to plan out how long you're going to stay in the property and what would be the best way for you. The third is, of course, to choose a neutral, divorce-savvy agent. There are so many issues involved with a divorce, and you really need someone that will not make missteps. And one of the main things as an agent I do when I'm working with a divorce, and I tell everyone up front, is I'm going to email everyone. So if you have a private conversation with me, I'll do a synopsis and then I'll email it to both parties, just so there's no miscommunication. So important. And if you have an attorney and they want to be involved, a lot of times I include them too, though they don't want all the daily things, just some of the important issues. And then, oops, I'm not made a mistake on there. Step 4 would be timing. Timing is so important. I know that the temptation, I know what I did. I just wanted out, and so I made quick decisions to get out, and that wasn't the smartest thing. You want to time the market if you can. Usually the spring is the best time to sell, particularly if you have like a 3-bedroom or plus, because families usually want to relocate and get their children settled for the school year. It's just kind of the best time generally. But of course, your timing will be the most important, and I'm willing to work with you with that and explain, different time frames and go over the statistics with you. It's so important. And then step 5, the two main pitfalls are emotional pricing. I mean, I know you have a lot of memories in the house, and some of the improvements you've made, you might have spent a lot of time doing them. But please look at the facts, look at the market data, go over it with your agent in detail, get an appraisal. Really, if you overprice, you usually end up making less money. It's all about protecting your equity. And I like to use the example of fresh bread. When it first comes out of the oven, everyone's interested. They want a piece of it. But as it gets stale, there's less interest, and usually you'll get lower offers. So it's very important to price it right. Listen to your agent. So I've written a divorce guide. And I download the guide, but I'm not sure I have it set up yet that it can be downloaded. I think I'll need your email, but it goes into more detail about some of the issues I covered quickly here, and I'd be happy to email it to you. Um, divorce is really hard. It's so much emotional, and then there's a lot of legal tax consequences you need to look at. Really recommend getting that professional advice. But when you sell with me, I try to make sure that selling your home is not hard, that everything is covered. So if you'd like a low pressure consultation, or if you just want to go over questions about whether you want to sell or buy out your partner, please call me. I'm happy to help with anything I can. All right, thank you.